Hey friends, welcome to the channel. I'm Ken Smith, and in today's video we're going to talk about how to make inexpensive brick mortar for your brick buildings. Now, a couple weeks ago I actually picked up this partially assembled DPM building, and it was already kind of sort of pre-painted, and I did a short on this, kind of showed the building, and in that several people asked me, hey, how did you do the mortar work? Well, you know, honestly, I didn't do the mortar work. I saw the building on there and I thought, well, you know, it's very affordable, and it'll give me an opportunity to get something out on the layout for our second city relatively quick. But I was also kind of curious how they did it. Now, I've used other products in the past, but I really wanted to come up with something that I thought anybody could do, and anybody globally around the world could have access to what I ended up coming up with. And so in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I do. We're going to take a brand new DPM kit, give it some paint, and we're going to do some mortar work, and I'm going to show you exactly what I do. It's really easy, so let's get at it. Okay, so the very first thing that we're going to do is we're going to do this DPM kit. It's an older kit. It's the Other Corner Cafe. And we're going to be, you can see, obviously, it's not painted. We're going to go ahead and kind of give this a reddish brown brick color. I'm going to use some rattle can spray paint and just spray it up so that we have a base to work with, and then we will start getting to that brick mortar. Well, the more I started thinking about doing the kit I just said, I started looking at, because I have a bunch of these DPM kits. And I started looking a little further, and guess what? I find this building right here. So instead of building the building I just said I was going to build, I'm going to build a replica of this. I'm going to use my mortar techniques, but I'm going to go one step further and show you what it looks like when it's complete. I'll paint it a little bit different, but I'll show you exactly what it looks like, and we'll go through the steps of mortaring, because that's really what this video is all about. All right, I'm kind of giving you an aerial view of what I did, but I used just a bunch of markers, Sharpies, and whatnot. Just a big pile. They're all different shades of brown, even got a red Sharpie and a gold and a bronze Sharpie in there. And what I did was I just added some dots, for lack of a better way of saying it, to just give me some random stone work. Now, you know, this is going to be yay far away, and a lot of the mortar that we're going to apply next, our wash, is just going to really kind of dull things down a little bit and just kind of blend everything together so that we have, you know, just some random stone work that you see in there. But also, we'll show you exactly how we apply the wash next, and then just let this dry. Now, what I have, by the way, over my Excel self-healing cutting mat, this is actually a baker's flexible, I don't know exactly what you call it, but like a pastry mat, and it's really flexible. And what I like about it is that it's somewhat transparent. So if I'm painting something over the cutting mat and I kind of want to use these squares as kind of guidelines, I don't worry so much about destroying my cutting mat. So just a little tech tip right there. So next up, I have, I like keeping these cups, by the way, the tops of spray cans that don't have a little center indentation. I like that because these are great little mixing cups. So here's my formula. It's house paint. That's it. Nothing fancy. Everybody that I know of has a can of house paint lying around. And this is kind of an off-white. I actually took some white and some gray and kind of mixed it together. But here's the beauty part. I don't know about every big box store, but I can tell you that most big box stores will sell sample cans or sample little jars of paint. And I recommend that you find a house paint, just, good old water-based latex house paint. You can probably buy it in a sample jar, like I do at my big box store, and that costs about $5. And that's enough house paint to probably paint every doggone brick building that you might ever have on your layout. And all I do is I just dilute it. You can see it's really, I'll even put it on this paper towel first. You can just see how diluted it is. It just, see how quickly that just spreads? Now we're going to want to keep our paper towel handy because if we need to wick up anything, we can. And all I do, I take my brush and just kind of dap it. This is actually probably a little too much. And this is great because this will actually show you how I just wick it up. Look at that. You see how quickly that just wicked up? I didn't have to tap anything. Look at how quickly that just wicked up. See that? So we could just go along, like you see right there, just tap. You could brush it on if you wanted. At that juncture. This is just house paint diluted with water. How easy does this get? And now look at the stonework, or the brickwork, and the different colors that are just kind of showing through. Is that easy or what? I'm not applying any pressure at all. And if we get a spot that is just a little too much, we can just wipe it right down. Look at how easy this is. And all it is super diluted house paint. Nothing more. No rubbing, no nothing. And we're just going to set this aside and come back, and we're going to look at this once it's dry. All right, let's come back and see what it looks like after it dries. So it's dried. Our first layer is dried. And now I am going, just applying a second layer, just to get a little bit more color in our mortar. Not a lot, just a little bit. And again, just a very dry brush. Doesn't take a lot of pressing. Remember that little trick I told you about wicking? Trying to wick up some of that stone. Notice we got some some right in by that window. And take a paper towel. Probably don't need to worry about that because obviously I'm going to paint the windows, but let's say you already painted the windows and you just need to get that out of there. That's literally a great way of getting the majority of that. Just letting it wick right up the paper towel. Get a little sharper edge there maybe. And not disturb any of our brickwork. Looks like I dragged the paper towel right there, so we'll just easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys and gals, because I know we've got ladies who also model. This is really, really easy. Let's say you live in an apartment complex and you're really limited to what you can even paint. This is easy. This is super easy. Don't have to vent this. This is house paint. And could it be applied directly over plastic? Yes, it could be. And I'll show you. So this is actually part of a merchant's row kit, and I'm going to paint this, but it's on the sprue. I just want to show you that even if you were in a situation where you couldn't paint or you wanted to get a model up super, super quick just to kind of fill some spots, hey, guess what? You know, it's house paint. It's going to stick. Same principles apply. Look at that. Now, I will admit that something with paint gives it a better bite for this to stick, but it will stick. And you can see it for yourself right there. That just made that look so much better, and we haven't done anything other than applied diluted house paint that is super easy to get anywhere. So what you're watching right now while I've got it on hyperdrive is me actually painting the next wall. And again, you can see that I'm just using some Sharpies, some frame markers, and just some really easy dotting here and there, not spending a whole lot of time on the wall. Now, if you wanted to actually take a fine tip paintbrush and paint some random bricks, obviously you could do that, but I'm just showing you how fast and how simple my method really is, and you'll see what it looks like when it's completely finished and dried. So now here they are side by side. This one obviously is still wet. This is dry. But this really gives you kind of a good idea. I did it time lapse just so that you could see just really how easy it is that I did with just some markers, some frame markers, some Sharpies, and some diluted house paint. And I'm literally going to be able to build the majority of this town probably within a week. The DPM kits, by the way, are just pretty simple. I'll spend more time probably just painting the windows than anything else, but that just goes to show you just how easy it is. All right, so here's the version of Robert's dry goods that I picked up, and this is the one that I just got done building. Now, we'll move in close. In fact, actually what I'll do is I'll kind of give you a little better light, just so that you can kind of see how it came out. And we'll put it on its side there, put this on its side there so we can kind of do a comparison. And again, I'm not knocking how this is done. In and of itself, it's fine. If I didn't think it was going to look good, I wouldn't have bought it. You know, truth be told, you'll notice that I made my back wall a little bit more grungier, and I did that on purpose, just so that you can kind of see. And again, here's the other sides. And you can see how the marker just really gives it some additional accents. If you didn't want to use markers, you don't have to. It'd be just fine without them. And then we'll flip over the front. Now, the only thing that I want to mention, I painted this obviously unassembled and then assembled it. The only thing that I did to this is I painted the inside of it black. And the reason why I did that is I paint all the insides of my models black. And so when I did that, obviously I had some challenges, and I'll probably end up painting all of this black, but I'm not sweating it right now. But one of the challenges I had, even though I tried masking it and whatnot, I didn't do a very good job masking the door. And so got a lot of black overspray. And I ended up doing my best to try to match the paint. So now it just kind of looks like a weathered door. But that was really the only thing that I've done to that. Now they both still need window glazings installed, and they both obviously need roofs installed. But again, let's just take a look at the front. We'll go back and forth just so that you can see right on the workbench. Nice mortar color. And I'm pretty sure that the technique he used was really just dry brushing, because the paint looks very similar, has a very similar sheen. But I like this technique. Obviously, I used flat paint, but I like this technique because you can see throughout the video, I did nothing. This was just really just dapping it with some very watered down house paint. So there you have it. I hope you thoroughly enjoyed that. Have a wonderful day, and you all be blessed.